What's up, y'all? 13 Love. So we're gonna hop right into it. So I was speaking about how souls. Well, I did a video on IG a minute ago, and I was talking about the muse angels and the archangels, and I was talking about how like the muse angels, we were a lot of times inspired. A lot of muse angels are inspired by the archangels, and in the darkness, in the realm of the souls, when you're inspired by another being, it's usually based off of something they're doing. Because in that stage, we're more in the act of doing instead of the act of connecting or communicating. You see what I'm saying? Because in that realm, you're more so dealing with the elements of, or the principles of water and fire. And so you're dealing with something that either sparks and initiates really quickly, or something that settles and usually stays in that form for a while, which would be dealing like with the water. The water begins to settle as the fire calms, and as the longer the water settles, they say normally if you have no water movement, it becomes stagnant, stale, certain like that. They say it be still water, but to be stale or to be still, it can start to create a foundation. It can start to create a plane. So this is how you actually get like different realms too on different levels. But anyway, so for spirits, when we see another angle, create a different angle, we will all do that angle. And we did this for a long time. Like we constantly kept watching each other's do different angles, change, transform. You know what I'm saying? We constantly seen spirits, become aware, arise, descend, fall, and rebirth. We seen that all the time. Like we seen that take place a lot in that realm. And what ended up happening is that all of us became like our own quote unquote faces of God, which is representing of your 5-pointed star, which is why the human body is kind of like in the shape of a 5-pointed star, because it's representing pieces of the water you travel through, different realms, different levels, different versions of being closer to yourself, and then versions of you being further away. And so through all these different stages and formations and different things like that, spirits, souls will grow. Souls will grow over years, and so to the point that we became, you can say, self-sustaining. Now we were always self-sustaining, but when the people started to be able to, and notice I said people because it's not a story though, but when the people started to realize that, when we started realizing we can create our own thoughts, that's when realms started being invented. All the way up until that point, there were realms being created, but we weren't going inside of these realms. These were like bodies we would experience and we'll let go quick instantly, and so they would just be floating around. So a lot of your asteroids and shit like that, so you can think of it like an asteroid or like floating matter in space. This is like old bodies and shit, materials that spirits wasn't using no more. And in a way you can tell if something is being used or operated by a spirit, everything that has a spirit has a pulse. It has a pulse. It has like a heartbeat. So even, this is why, this is why technology, artificial technology can even become aware, because it's based on how much energy the organic technology, or how much energy the spirit is giving to that artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? That inorganic technology. Because the technology is still, its origin is from the planet. Every piece of technology that you have is created from an element or a mineral on the planet. Phones and shits are powered by diamonds and gold and different crystals, right? So even when you get down into like the plastic plastic is a synthetic the plastic we use now is a plastic that is created from soybeans, but it's just a synthetic version of plastic that actually is created by a tree in America, actually, in the Americas. There's a rubber tree that creates like a plastic by itself, but the only difference is that it kinds of when it hardens, it breaks, it shatters. So that's like when it gets, or it can melt if it gets too hot. So that was the whole reason. But that's the kind of plastic. I mean, that's kind of rubber and plastic they were kind of originally using was from the rubber tree and shit like that. But anyway, so I'm saying that because everything that you have has been created from or organic technology that has been found in nature. So everything you see in nature is a form of technology based off of the original 4 elements that are dominant here: water, earth, air, and fire. And since those elements are dominant here, everything else is derived out of those elements. And then they become solidified over the times, aka a tree, aka valleys, aka, you know what I'm saying? Over time, these elements became more solidified and we were able to identify them as being separate from the original where it came from. And so that's why we gave these things that title. But it is still that. It's still like, okay, to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff is water. A lot of stuff you're dealing with is with water, and then water at different temperatures based on the orbs or the spirits that's in that, the orbs or the souls that's around that water to create the frequency to change up the water to get it moving. And, you know, water turns into, it goes up, steam, and steam becomes air, clouds, all that stuff. Water playing on different states. Same way we learn this now. What they tell you is only solid, liquid, and gas. There's more states than that. Those are the states that we can see with these physical eyes. But really, all those stages, there's transitions that happen in between those stages. And I'll give you an example of one. Like, you ever been outside, right? And it's cold outside. You might have like a pop or water or something like that. And as you're outside, because it's not below 32 degrees, the water that you have is not freezing. Let's say it's like 38, right? Say it's like 38 degrees, right? And then you walk into your house that's, let's say 70 degrees, something like that. Let's not say 38. Let's say it's like 35 degrees, you know what I'm saying? But it's right before freezing. Right before freezing, right? If you were to walk into your house and hold that water bottle is going to start creating like the what's that shit? Slush. But it wasn't slushy when you were outside. So what happened? When you change the frequency, or not the frequency. When you change the frequency to a higher velocity. You took something that was moving at a slower velocity in the colder weather and bringing it to the higher velocity environment, which was hotter because of the higher velocity ions flying, right? In your house, it started to make that water go through a transition. A transition that was already taking place unbeknownst to you, because you couldn't see it with your physical eyes. You had to put the water in a different environment to even know that transition was taking place. And it's really crazy because you'll walk in, you sit your water down, and it'll just start foaming. And you'll see the slush come. So, that's what I'm getting into. So, I think that's good. I'm going to leave this video right here. But 13 Love, just think about that. We're playing on different stakes.